have been, I haven't seen particular that they have built after Hammarbystad, but there have been a lot of inspiration to many, and hopefully what I think is the most important lesson learned also for Hammarbystad is that we're not focusing only on energy or only material, etc., but a holistic point of view, and I think that is actually now spreading to those who haven't had it already from the beginning. We had visitors from Turkey, Turkish journalists, and when we talked about district heating, they couldn't believe it. District heating, wow, this is rocket science, this is really, so I mean, we have lots of countries in Europe that actually don't even have district heating, so, and we take it so for granted. We have district heating, so what is, well, kind of natural thing and a smart way of distributing heating, but yes, it's not for everybody, of course. So just having that as an idea, then probably that could also be an inspiration, because we have lots of good examples around in Europe, and as you're now going to Copenhagen, and also where in Germany are you going?
Frankfurt and Munich.
Ah, okay, yes. I don't know so much about their environmental planning, but altogether also Germany has been very, very much in the front of environmental with the outlets and emissions from that area, and from that it has spread. So as I see it, I see Germany as one country where I think it's actually more awareness on the grassroots level than actually is in Sweden, that people had to have another environmental thinking, but also in broader context. I don't, maybe I just have these assumptions, but that is my picture of Germany, that people are very, very environmentally aware. So I hope you will get that picture too.
I've heard that there is a power plant using geothermal energies in Germany.
That using, sorry?
Using geothermal energies.
Okay, yes.
So, local cooling and heating system. So we are going to visit.
Interesting. Can I follow you? Oh, that is very, because we just have geothermal houses, single houses that people are drilling into the rock and getting some geothermal heating from it, but actually not an entire plant, I don't think. So that is very interesting. That it could be, I don't know if it's true, but if too many houses in one is using geothermal heating, then it becomes a problem for the permafrost, that it could be longer in the ground. But I don't know if that is true or not, because I think, why should it be? We just use anything that is there anyway. Well, when it comes to this kind of more, new things, people have lots of ideas and thinking, so you don't know what is rumor and what is fact from the start.
Do you know SWAC system, seawater air conditioning?
No, not really.
I've heard that Sweden is famous for SWAC system.
Seawater
air conditioning.
Oh, so they use the seawater for cooling. Well, I know that they have in the nuclear plant, they use the seawater for cooling, but not as a system, as a bigger system and a bigger concept. But I know there are lots of research of different kind of heating and cooling and energy, like the wave now, being lots of research, how we can build from the wave power. I mean, that would be excellent to have. So there are a lot of things going on. Hopefully that could be something being developed.
And how is the reaction of citizens living here about this system, this environment-friendly system?
Well, many of them are, I think some of them are used to, what we have here with kind of waste sorting. Some people have done it, but in more like an individual level before where they live. But here on this, most people are very, very positive, because when they moved here, maybe they didn't know it was an environmentally adapted area. But when they moved here and realized, wow, this is excellent, and I can do all the sorting so easily, and all about this energy, and they're very, very happy to learn from it. And of course, we have some people who actually moved here just because of the environmental solutions. When it comes to the car parking, people are not that positive. Many of them who actually have a car, because they want cheaper parking, they want more parking. But if you want to reduce the car use, then one incentive is economic, and it should be quite expensive and not too comfortable to have a car. I think it's a very good incentive for people to choose not to have a car, which is the case in Hammarby Sjöstad, and also as it is regarded as inner city area, the land is quite expensive. So all areas which are well, public is one thing, but if you have it for parking cars, then it has to cost, because that is not a public use of the space in one way. So it is about 70 euros per month to park the car on the street, and if you want to park it underground, it is as much as 150 euros a month.
I know it is very important to pay. It is very important money in all over the world. So how much reduced pay or energy before environmental system, not environmental system, comparing to not environmental system?
We don't have your apartment, and if you live in a house, then it depends on which distributor you choose and how much. I mean, normally for a house you expect to maybe pay about what can it be, 12,000 Swedish for heating up the house, depending of course of the size. That is 1,200 euros. But the thing is, with it is up to the people in the apartments here. It's included. So that is also one incentive you can make and change, because when they're building new areas now in Hammarby Sjöstad, the one most recent in Henriksdalshamnen, some of the developers will actually exclude water and heating to make people not have to warm inside their apartment also. So that is going to be interesting to see. I mean, but you can reduce the heating. So the heating is not any different in Hammarby Sjöstad when it comes to the cost for the people who live here. That is the same in entire Sweden. We have that kind of system. So what they can change is domestic electricity. That is individual. That they can change. They can choose who should deliver and distribute the electricity, and if it should be eco-labeled or not. So even though it is what we call the district heating with producing electricity and energy, you can still, for the domestic electricity, choose if it should be only from wind power, if it should only actually be from water power, hydropower, or if it's just should conventional, which could be then nuclear power, anything.
Are there renewable energy?
Like what is the
renewable energy, like wind power, or
yes, well, as I said, we don't. I think it's less than 1% of all the energy produced in Sweden. That is from wind power. About 40-45% is from nuclear, and the same amount comes from hydropower. So, and that is for the entire energy system. But we need to make people more aware that they should choose eco-labels, and whatever electricity company you choose, everybody's paying for development of eco-labeled electricity production. So we don't have separately, you don't see in the heating of the houses actually where exactly the heating comes from. I mean, here in smaller areas like Hammarbysjö stad, it comes either from the Högdalen, the incineration plant, or from the local, most of the time. But then we have additional heating plants that also provides with the heat, and only for the Bottom company to see. Then you can see it come from other parts as well.